are getting the shaft from the establishment once again. This time they're being blocked from holding a 3-day Ron Paul festival in Tampa, Florida, just days before the Republican National Convention. Romney's won enough delegates to secure his nomination, so why is the GOP still so nervous about Ron Paul supporters? Brian Seaman, director of Paul Fest, joins me now. Talk a little bit about what happened when you tried to put this festival in place, Brian.
Okay, thank you for having me on the show, by the way. I really appreciate it. We started this process back in February, and we contacted the Florida State Fairgrounds. They told us that the venue was available and that we could have those dates, but we had to get permission from the RNC as they contract out all the venues around the Tampa area about 2 years prior to this. So we had to actually contact the RNC's Committee on Arrangements to get permission to do this. We went to their website, we filled in the application that they have on the website, and from there, we had a waiting period. In the beginning of May, the RNC told the fairgrounds that they could go ahead and start negotiating the contract with us, which obviously gave us the assumption, of course, that we had the venue. Sometime in about halfway through May, the RNC said, wait, we said you can negotiate the contract. It doesn't mean we're releasing the venue, and that we would know more June 1st whether we had the venue. June 1st came, and the RNC told us that they still had not reviewed our application, and it could be a couple more weeks before they do so, and that they're not going to really comment any more beyond that. So at this point, we started the assumption that they were purposely dragging their feet to not allow us to have this venue.
And as you said, Brian, before, that lagging so much time would really inhibit the attendance, would really hinder the festival's success. And so that's why it's so important to get these deadlines out and to get it going. Brian, are you surprised, though? I mean, you see Ron Paul supporters, they're pretty much comparable to rabble-rousers. You could see them, booing Romney and just other things that they've done. Are you surprised that, oh yeah, we were going to play it.
Yes and no answer. I mean, we obviously being involved with Ron Paul, not with his campaign officially, but just being involved in the Ron Paul movement since about 2008, we're not really that surprised given the way the party has treated his supporters. But at the same time, most of the people on our staff who are working for this are registered Republicans. So this is not a bunch of Democrats or independents coming in trying to put on a festival to outshine the RNC or anything like that. We're actually registered Republicans, and I think that this could be good for them. We're not obviously at the festival. Other people other than Ron Paul supporters are going to be there, so you would think that they'd want to set up a booth, try to get people to register as Republican and join the party. So yes, we're not surprised because of the way they've treated Ron Paul and his supporters, but we're kind of surprised because, as you said, they assume Mitt Romney has the nomination. So what are they scared of? We don't know. They won't tell us. They give us one-word answers or responses like, we can't speak on that right now.
Well, isn't that just the crux of it, is that the Ron Paul supporters are really trying to work within the GOP, and the GOP is kind of just turning their back and saying, we don't want to have really anything to do with you guys are too extreme. Why do you think that is? Why are the Ron Paul supporters trying to mold the GOP when it's so divided between both ideologies inside of it?
I think that it's not so much that we're trying to mold or take over the GOP. It's more trying to get the GOP back to its original platform. They did have the platform of limited government, lower taxes, following the Constitution, and that's Ron Paul's message. So, it does kind of shock us that they wouldn't want people to come back in and bring them back to their original platform. But taking the fact that they are a big establishment party, you can understand why they might reject that at this point.
Yeah, but Ron Paul's just one guy out of the entire GOP, these political candidates who's saying, let's bring it back to our roots. I mean, how likely is that really to rein the GOP back from this military spending and these endless wars and really what their entire group is based on right now, back to Ron Paul's libertarian, less government philosophies? I mean, wouldn't it make more sense to just start another party or run as third party and get out of that two-party system that's stifling you guys?
I think the two-party system, well, in ways, I think the two-party system is somewhat of a sham. There doesn't seem to be too much difference between Mitt Romney and Barack Obama. So, and of course, that was the same thing with John McCain and Barack Obama, in my opinion. But both the Republicans and the Democrats have the system locked up, and for a third party to be any player in this country, it's virtually impossible. So if you really want to affect change in this country, you're going to have to do it through the Republican and Democrat Party in order to get that done. And so it really doesn't make sense for somebody like Ron Paul to run as a libertarian. He's been a 12-term congressman as a Republican. He's been in the party. When he goes around on his campaign trail, he's very effective at raising money for state GOPs. So he's not anti-GOP. He helps inside the party. He raises money for them. You would think that they would embrace that. He's bringing a lot of new, younger voters into the party.